Hi Dimitris, and welcome to the SEETA web chat. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
It's a pleasure to be with you.
And Dimitris, can you tell us a little bit about you? Where are you from and what do you do? So we get to know you a little bit.
I work as an instructional technologist at the American College of Thessaloniki and Anatolia College. I mainly help faculty cope with technology and help them with support and training, all ideas they have, projects they want to do with technology. So I'm just trying to, just try to make them happy.
Technology-wise. So, from what I know about you, you're also one of the 25 volunteers, Dimitris, that organized the TEDx Thessaloniki event. So, before diving into TEDx, could you tell us a little bit about TED Talks? What is it all about and about the main ideas behind it?
Yeah, I'm a member of the communications team of TEDx Thessaloniki. TED is a conference that started in 1984 in California. TED stands for Technology, Entertainment, and Design. And the idea is having people talk for up to 18 minutes and talk about an idea. And the motto is ideas worth spreading. We could say TED is, as Robert Scoble has put it, a celebration of human performance. You can get to see the best scientists, best entrepreneurs, dancers, politicians, musicians, and they share an idea with the world. And the good thing about TED Talks is that they're recorded and they're free online for anyone to watch.
And can you tell us a little bit about TEDx then? How is it different or how is it similar?
TEDx is a program that started 4 years ago. So in 2009, TED gave the opportunity to independent organizers to hold their own TED-style events. Up to today, there are more than 2,000 such events, and they have more than 6,000 events till today. So there are more than 2,000 TEDx organizations that have had more than 6,000 events. One of these is TEDx Thessaloniki, which was last Saturday. And the good thing about it was fun. Yeah. The good thing about TEDx is that it gives the opportunity to anyone to share an idea, and then that idea can spread and even be amplified by TED itself. For example, there was a boy, a 14-year-old boy from Malawi who spoke at TEDx Tanzania. And that boy had built a windmill that powered his house. And that talk propagated from the website. It was a TEDx talk. And then that boy was invited to speak at the actual TED Global event back in 2009. So that boy was 22 back then, and he was invited to speak at TED Global. So his idea got amplified, and more people got to know this boy and his idea through this platform. So it's a platform for sharing ideas worldwide.
So a little bit about behind the scenes, since you seem to know a little bit about it. How are TED speakers chosen?
Well, every TEDx event has a curator or curators behind it. So there's a theme. And usually we are looking for speakers who are related to the theme. It can be local speakers or international speakers, doesn't matter. It can be men or women, older, younger, anything that has to do with the theme of the specific conference, the specific event. And they have to share something great that they've done, an idea, something that can inspire people to do something.
And there has, however, been some controversy surrounding the parameters within which each speaker talks, as well as the ticket cost on TED Talks. Would you care to comment on that?
Well, I'm not a TED spokesperson, but I know I've heard about a few issues that some talks have been, let's say, disqualified due to poor quality. I think TED released an answer saying that we want to share the best ideas, and there were some cases that people tried to promote a business or some personal goal, or there even were cases that people were given 3 minutes to speak, people that were selected from the audience, and just delivered a short talk, and that wasn't uploaded. So, and that wasn't the case with this talk. So maybe they had this false idea that all talks are uploaded. But TED can simply ask a person to talk, but doesn't mean that they will upload every talk. There've been some people say that TED is elitist, for example.
Yes, that has been heard, yes.
And stuff like that, but they've released replies on that, and in a nutshell, it's not actually elitist, but it essentially attracts people who are maybe regarded as elite in their area of expertise, that is. But I don't think that matters. What matters is that it creates this environment that people get together and they share ideas, and they create this richness. This conference has a richness, and this is why it's so expensive anyway. But it has to do with the quality. So some people can afford that; they can go, and that's fine. But then the important thing is that they share everything for free afterwards. And it also has huge cost. I mean, for the speakers to travel and all the bandwidth that's needed to host all the videos for the website. And all the other details in such conferences, like the high-tech sound system at the stage, everything has to be perfect. So that's why it's quite expensive.
Apart from a TEDx volunteer yourself, you are also an instructional technologist, and you used to teach computer science, if I'm not mistaken. So what do you see are the main challenges of teaching this subject today, especially when children today seem to be growing up with technology? They play it on their hands and on their fingertips.
Well, technology, I think, should not be the subject anymore. It should be everywhere. It should be ubiquitous. Because we actually should be teaching kids how to behave in an online environment, how to use different tools for different purposes. And even from kindergarten, they should know what's appropriate and what's not online, how to manage their digital identities, their digital footprint. And how, I think the biggest challenge is, given the vast amount of information out there, they should know how to filter the information, how to search, how to know what's good and what's not.
I could use that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we all need that because we live in a world that there is information abundance now. There is no point in going somewhere to find information. It's everywhere via the internet.
And in your view, how do you see the future of technology in schools?
Well, technology is evolving. It's becoming integrated in every subject now. So I would like to see more experiential learning, project-based learning with technology, and also without technology, based on the subject. And we should let kids, experiment and learn to make their own applications, make their own robots, and solve problems, real life problems, and learn to collaborate. And technology can do that, and it can do this in a large scale. They can join communities online, and they can help solve real problems. They can learn in real context, which is really important, and it's a real asset.
So real hands-on for the kids.
Real hands-on and real work. I mean, if they, for example, if they write a paper, why just write a paper to hand it in to the teacher when they could have a blog online which is public, and they could get feedback from anyone all over the world and have a discussion and share their work. Make it real, and then they can at the same time learn that they're responsible for what they're posting online, and become, they can get to understand the agency factor. What is it to post things online, and being connected with the world, and doing this in public. What implications does it have? And being a digital citizen, they have an identity. They can manage that from a very young age.
Interesting. And finally, to close this little interview, do you have a favourite TED Talk that you'd like to share with us?
I think my favorite is one of the first ones I saw. It's sort of cliche. It's Sir Ken Robinson's talk on how schools kill creativity.
Yeah.
And this is, I guess, because I found out about it through other educators. So it's a very popular talk among educators.
Yeah.
And this is actually the talk that got me interested in TED in general. So it's very, very inspiring.
Yeah, it is. I got interested in TED Talks from the same video as well. It's,
Nice.
he does have a knack. Right. Well, Dimitris, thank you. We're looking forward to hearing a little bit more about your ideas on the web chat on the 23rd. And we'll see you
Lovely.
there then. All right?
Sounds fun.
Thank you.
We'll be there. Thank you very much.
Hello, Margarita, and SEETA web chat. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
And to be
His talks, and you've done a couple of presentations for TESOL convention. You seem to be quite experienced in this area. I'd like to ask you to begin our conversation how do you ensure with TED Talks in?
Well, one of the modules that I've been doing for years now is a listening in which my students learn how to prepare a oral presentation. So it was a few years ago, a student of mine, a link. So I came to my first talk. It was Benjamin Zander's Classical Music with Shining Eyes, which is still my favorites. And I have been using TED Talk in my tertiary room ever since. Then I found out the TEDx in Thessaloniki, and I attended it for the first time in 2011. I like one thing only. Once you've tried TED, you don't get it out of your system.
Uh-huh. So a student actually talked about it. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what would you say are the advantages, somewhere different? I choose TED Talk to include into your lessons. I mean, thousands of TED Talks. You can't go through all of them. How do you choose which one?
It takes time, it takes hours. Obviously take into consideration who your audience will be.
Yeah.
So I teach adults, high school graduates enrolled in a pre-bachelor foundation program. And in the past, I also used talks with level bachelor students. So first of all, I want the video to be general to the audience. So in my case, these are young people starting their careers in the near future. So they need positive messages. They need something to look forward to. They need something to make them believe that one day they can make a difference in the world. So this is the first thing to take into consideration. Another important aspect is the level of difficulty, obviously. I select talks which are delivered either by native speakers or with clear accent. And last but not least, I want the talks I choose to both inspire and entertain my students. I want them to go away with a message, with a memorable line. And let me give you this example. The day not long ago, a student posted on Facebook a talk which is discussed a few years ago. A brief discussion started, and it meant a lot because it actually read that the talk I had said back then made a difference to that, that it impact on him. I know that I had made a choice, right?
That should make you really proud. Yeah, I can see how it is. Do your students watch the videos in class or home? How do you prefer it?
Well, I've changed. In the past, before I did the TED platform, we always watched the video in class. That was the traditional classroom. With this, we give it out with a set of questions. We watched the answered the questions. We had a discussion and did some additional reading to the topic of the talk. And in the end, I assigned them a written task. So that was in the past. That's what did in the past. But now with the TED platform, the students can do half of this work at home. They can prepare the videos on their own. However, depending on the level of students, I offered of this work in the classroom because they might help, might need some, sometimes they want to add directions, they don't understand the context. So sometimes it was one-on-one tutorials where students work on their own, but under my supervision. Although this is not always possible, right? Because in that case, you rely on technology. So you either need a classroom with computer for each student and a set of headphones for each student, or you need a group of students who have their own laptops. Ideally, though, the students should be working videos at home. Follow-up discussion should follow class. This concept is flipped from, as you know, and that's what we are basically trying to establish now.
With books. Lovely. And how can students benefit from using TED Talks in their course?
Most methods that I can think actually evolve around how much students can benefit. Because if students can benefit, we benefit as well, right?
Absolutely.
So the most obvious reason for using classroom is variety. Our students cure the world, but we give them the right tools to fit that cure. So I talk them, get a perspective on the world, on a variety of issues. They help them change their attitudes very often and spark their minds. Also, many of the talks that I have other modules students are taking. This is the B program part. For instance, my students attend management course, and the TED Talk of That is a Leader, great addition to this to a discussion leadership they would have the instructor later on. And one more terms of the linguistics benefits, TED Talks provide students with the context with the language can be used. In other words, they make it more entertaining and more effective.
Everyone benefits then.
Everyone benefits, yeah.
Exactly. How do you? What are the advantages of using the TED specifically to clip lessons?
First of all, we have to remember that our students are digital natives, so they often take the use of technology in class for granted right now. And it's surprising that they enjoy online tasks more than the ones which are paid, even if they are the same task. So being online makes a difference for them. Also, TED gives the students access to the lesson at their convenience. Can work from home, in the middle of the night, in the morning. It's up to them. Finally, lesson loaded teacher can be available to any user and share, just like the ideas promoted by the talk you choose to flip are shared with others.
And what would you say are benefits from all?
Earlier, students their horizons can perceive on a variety of issues and maybe even discover interest through talks. Also, a very important issue, they realize that language is not the language of standard exams, but also the language of communication.
Yeah.
And finally, they depend on learners in charge of their learning process. They learn about new ideas by means of a foreign language and vice versa. They learn the language while discovering those new ideas.
Autonomy is the key. Right. So, Margarita, on the TEDx platform, you can also use to flip your lesson. Do you prefer the TED Talks or YouTube videos?
Well, so I have been only using talks because it's such an immense resource that I do not feel to look at for now. Okay? New are added on a daily basis.
That's true. Yeah.
So that's something for us.
And to finish this little discussion, which will continue in the web chat later on, favorite TED Talk that you'd like to share with us?
Of course I do, but not one. I told you before, Benjamin Zander's classical is among my favorite talks. My first, and still among my favorites. And there is an old classic, may sound cliche, but really is my favorite, Sir Ken Robinson's Skill Creative.
Yeah.
I also like, and it's the opportunity of a day, and more, but I would just mention these 3 examples for today.
Okay. Margarita, thank you very much for this little interview. I'm looking forward to speaking to you a lot more on the web chat next week. And I'll see you then.
See you very much.
Thank you. Bye.